Okay, hello there, people of the internet. My name is Udujigero, and this is Political Headache. Thank you very much, people of the internet, for subscribing to Political Headache. We are going to 10,000 subscribers. We were just, I think, 1,500 1 month ago, but now we are going to 10,000. A lot of people are listening to Political Headache, and indeed, Kenya is having a headache now, and the headache that we are having is basically political. Now, today I am in the studio with Ouko. Marku will tell me about himself. Marku need to social proof you.
Yes.
So that means that, tell me a little bit of your life. Were you born in State House?
I'm not a dynasty.
You are not a dynasty?
No, I'm a child of Mama Mpoka, like all of us.
Okay.
Yes. So my name is Marku. I studied in Kisumu. Nilianza masomo kwa Kisumu in Moroni, somewhere called Moroni constituency.
Yeah.
Then I left there. I studied in two schools actually. So I started with Alliance for my Form 1, Form 2. Then for some due circumstances, I had to go to study at Kanga High School for my Form 3 and 4. Then after there, I went for A-levels in South Africa at some school called Africa Leadership Academy. Then came back to the country where I did my, bachelor's of degree on economics. Then after that, I started working.
Okay.
Yes.
It is very interesting. Kanga is a great school.
Yes.
Alliance also is a very good school.
Yes.
What was going on? Kanga, I think Kanga is. I used to hear Kanga a lot.
Yes.
I don't know. Did it go down or what happened to it?
No, it's still at top performing school. Bado anapita mtihani sana.
Okay.
Yes.
So you were at Alliance.
The one at Kikuyu.
Okay.
Yes.
So you consider yourself what do they call it? Busharian?
Busharians, yes. Yes.
Are you in the alumni group?
I'm in the circles, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But not in the alumni.
No.
So after Kanga, you decided to go to A-levels. That is from
like from 5, from 6. Yes. At LA.
Why did you decide to do that?
I think it's particularly because I had not decided what I really wanted to do in my life, and I think this space in this institution in South Africa, it's a leadership institution actually. Although you're still doing the academic curriculum, but they also train you around leadership, etc. And I think in the long term, this is the space that I wanted to venture in. That's why I think I particularly decided to go into it.
Okay.
Yes.
Amazing. What did you think of South Africa? I've been there several times, and even now politically, as a student of politics yourself, South Africa has become a very difficult place for the young people, and the poverty levels have gone very high. When you were in South Africa and looking at Kenya and South Africa, what are some of the differences that you saw in South Africa that perhaps you drew parallels to?
South Africa is a very fast-paced life.
Yeah.
The life there evolves really, really fast. True to what you're saying, I think it's not really about even the poverty, but I think it's the discrepancy between those who are on the high end of those who are really rich and those who are poor, especially in places like Johannesburg. That discrepancy is so high. That's why you'll see the rate of crime rate is so high, because those who are on the end of people who are really rich, and those who are poor are really poor.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is the situation in Kenya, right?
Yeah.
When the Gen Zs are going, I spoke with Joachim here on the podcast.
Yes.
Joachim was telling me
I love this show.
You love this show?
I love it.
As somebody who is in government.
A friend to government.
You're a friend to government.
Yes.
You're the few Gen Zs. But anyway, we are going to come back to the friendship with the government.
Yes.
Because I imagine that you think that the government is doing a good work, and basically they need all the support they need to turn this country into what we all want this country to be.
Yes.
Prosperous country, a country that is wealthy, a country that is healthy.
Yes.
A country that is that is doing well.
Yes.
360.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What was the question that I wanted to ask you? There is something that I wanted to ask you in the... Yes, yeah, I've tracked back to the question that I wanted to ask you. We are... When Ruto came to government, he was on a populist kind of path.
Yes.
and saying that if you draw parallels with the first presidency of Donald Trump,
Yes.
where his main agenda was that we are going to drain the swamp,
Yes.
and take over Washington,
Yes.
and make America great again. So that is the MAGA movement.
Yes.
And I think the MAGA, we sort of had a Kenya Kwanza movement.
Yes.
In just before 2022.
Yes.
So we had the oligarchs.
Yes.
And we had Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yes.
We had the oligarchs such as Raila
Raila
Odinga.
Odinga.
We had
Kalonzo
Musyoka,
Martha Karua.
You know, we
Yes.
had all those oligarchs, and the idea was that
Yes.
we are going to drain the swamp.
Yes.
And the biggest message that the President Ruto, the deputy president by then, was saying is that we have to take the money to the people. But then a lot of people are saying right now that we have, just like you've said in South Africa, we have got the very poor, and then we have got the ultra rich. You remember the people. How much is your watch, by the way?
This one is for Mama Boga.
It looks golden, man.
I do not want to be misquoted. Marku had a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, do you think that when Ruto was saying these things,
Yes.
that he meant them?
I think he duly meant them. I think even if you look at the people who voted for him, aside the traditional metrics of tribes, etc., party politics, I think there are about 1.5 million people, as we are looking at the statistics, who voted for him merely because of this new idea, of going against the oligarchs, the dynasties. But I think the problem is that the 1 year into it, or 2 years into it, by 2023, Ruto's approval rating had fallen from 53 to 12%, and that's very dangerous. That's a very huge decline. I think the problem is that there was to be very realistic, there's a huge mismatch between what he had overly promised, this, how do I say, he will be the panacea of all the Kenyan problems, and 2 years into it, people are not feeling the ripple effect, especially those who he had promised. He didn't promise a change for those who are, say, even on the middle classes or the people at the top, those who are the real down. And the problem is that those who are at the lowest financial hierarchy, they want instant change. They long for that instant change. But the due circumstances that he did find himself couldn't allow him to do all those things that he had promised. Like he was saying that, when one wants to make a call, it will be completely free. All the boda people will now be using electric. The due economic circumstances that we did find ourselves, for example, even if you looked at our debt ratios, could not allow him to do some of these things. So I think that huge mismatch was the problem. And another thing that I think President Ruto may not realize is this. At that time, now you say 2023, is that I think President Ruto decided that he wants to first do a policy change in a number of these sectors. So from our education system, we say, let's change to new funding model. From our health system, let's change the NHIF to, SHA. But, at those who are the lowest financial hierarchy, they're not feeling that instant change. And, when you come with policy change, these things take a long overdue. If you look at the Maslow laws of hierarchy, people who are at the lowest level of financial, these people who voted for William Ruto, they do not have so much time for self-actualization in terms of, when Jagero here is talking about policy, SHA, NFM. No, these people are hand to mouth. So if there's not that circular flow of money, if they're not feeling that instant change, of course you'll face a revolt. Yes.
And this is, Ruto was elected to parliament the first time in 1993 or 1992?
1997.
1997.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw his speech the other day, and he said that I hope that I'm not going to let down the people that have elected me to parliament. That was, and he looked very youthfully. He actually looks like his son that is now in the transport industry.
Are you sure he's in the transport ministry?
Industry.
Are you sure?
The mood thing.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's for transport purposes?
Well, people are moving from point A to point B.
We will know.
We will know.
By time.
Okay.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what everything looks like anyway
Yes.
to the people to the people in the public.
Yes.
When as to what might be behind it, we might not know.
Yes.
Like you say, time will tell.
Yes.
But then, so Ruto, and there are so many people who have said that Ruto was in Kanu from by the time he stepped into university, and he had been in power and in the swamp for a long time, so to speak. He has so. And then Ruto is in the camp of Raila Odinga, and he's in several camps, and finally his big camp of TNA Jubilee and the rest of them that finally takes them to presidency in 2013. Okay, and then they started their rule with Uhuru Kenyatta, and within we have got so much that we can talk about the Uhuru Kenyatta's first reign. At some point, I don't know whether it is the second or the first reign that he actually said, mimi mnataka nifanye nini? We have got 2 billion being lost every day, and so according to Uhuru, he couldn't even arrest the people that were pocketing this 2 billion every day. But then what my point is that Ruto has been seeing the trend. He has been seeing how the swamp, how muddy the swamp is. He was looking at the policy, even at the height of the disagreement with the Uhuru Kenyatta, and then going into election mode and starting to go all over the country and telling the people that this thing is broken. We need to fix it. He from where I sit, he understood the magnitude of the work that he was going to do. So perhaps we could say that he was also playing politics, but he was also playing, a proper regime change. So my question is, this gentleman knew what he was getting into. He was in government. He was the deputy president for 10 years. He knew that this thing is not going to change overnight. So my question is that, was he cheating the public? What was he doing?
Yes. Now there are two things. Now, first of all, before I even answer that question, there is something that I've been hearing people say that during Uhuru's tenure there was no corruption, and it's a complete delusionment. Now there are two things here. And I think it has been explained a bit aptly by one of the senior counsel, Ahmed Nasir. There are two kinds of corruptions that happen in this country. There is one called an elite kind of corruption. And an elite kind of corruption happens when you have an elite kind of president. And this happens during, and with all due respect, whenever we see a president from the Mount Kenya region, it's a vertical kind of corruption, where those who are the dynasty, the rich people are the ones who enjoy from this kind of corruption. If you look at Uhuru's time, the people who are enjoying the COVID billionaires, the rich people. But now, during Ruto's time, interestingly, it has become an horizontal kind of corruption. It's a trickle down. You find people even who are not part of government, people who are friends. So I don't know. I don't want to be misquoted. Are also part of those who are looting. So it is horizontal. It is clear cut out. You hear somebody splashing out 20 million. It's not something you'll hear during Uhuru's time. So that's why I think William Ruto's kind of corruption is more out in the public, because it is horizontal, it's everywhere than Uhuru's kind of corruption. Now, the thing about if William Ruto knew this thing, during campaign, you tell people what they want to hear.
When you say that Uhuru and Mount Kenya elite corruption was horizontal.
It was
horizontal,
yes.
Yeah, and you say that the regime right now that we are having right now is sort of a vertical kind
kind of
what
corruption.
Are you trying to say then? That we have all suffered corruption
No, not all of us have suffered corruption, but that kind of looting has been allowed to come trickle down. There are people who are corrupt all the way from State House to Sugoi, but the kind of corruption that you witnessed during Uru's time was just for the elite, the Murathes of that time, the Mutai Kagwes of that time. It is not, doesn't come down.
The COVID billionaires.
The NY gurus, NYS people.
Yes, the ones that cutted away 16 trillion. I hear Uhuru has got, Uhuru cutted away 16 trillion together with these people.
Yes.
During Eurobond.
Yes,
Why has Ruto not gone for this money? Why is this money, by the way? Do you think Ruto should go for this money? Because I think he should. He should go for this money. I mean, 16 trillion is going to take us out of the mud.
No, I think
Is it 6 trillion? I think it is 6 trillion.
I think I had even people complaining that why is Ruto taking so many debts so quickly? Because what is happening, you see, Jagero, if I took a debt from you and I was supposed to pay you by, there's something called debt maturity dates, yeah? So the debts whose maturity date has arrived, either way, the country has to pay it because its time is due. So if the financial capability or the economic circumstances of the country may not allow us to pay the debts, then of course the president has now to take new debts to pay all these old debts. It's not that he's taking new debts to accumulate the ones that had already been taken, but it's because the maturity dates of the ones which had been taken has already reached their due dates.
But also there is a gentleman was telling me the other day there is something called ODS debts.
Yes.
Those are odd debts. For example, we have several dams that we took loans for to sink.
Yes.
We were supposed to sink a few dams.
Yes.
We're supposed to sink to build some stadiums. You remember Ruto saying in another 6 months,
yes,
this stadium and that stadium will be done. You remember that? So somebody was telling me, an economist was telling me that actually a country can refuse to pay debts based on the fact that those debts were not used. So for example, if you're supposed to sink this dam, and you got a loan of, let's say, 7 billion Kenya shillings to sink this dam, and Uhuru Kenyatta was the one that was supposed to be sinking that dam. After Ruto assumes presidency, Ruto is saying, okay, I have 7 billion here to pay, and then I've got an interest of 3 billion to say to add on to the 7. So I owe these people 10 billion. And somebody was telling me, as I've already said, that you can actually go and say, President Ruto can say, okay, you guys gave us the money to sink this dam, 7 billion, correct? And you want, on top of the 7 billion, you want 3 billion in interest fees. So I can, as a president and as a government, I can say, but I don't see a dam. And if you can't see a dam, and you're saying that we took a loan to sink a dam, then we can go to these people and say, look, we don't know where this money is. So if it is Uhuru Kenyatta that took this money and pocketed it, then ask Uhuru Kenyatta where this money is.
No, but that wouldn't be logically possible because he was the deputy president of the country. If you're going to tell our international partners they don't care about the political circumstances around the country, you are the deputy president at the time. So you, to some extent, he also owes some level of responsibility. So, and also if you look at in terms of the long-term relations with some of these international bodies that lend us debts, it wouldn't be advisable to take that route. How will you go trying to explain about all these 7 billion was not used? It's not logically possible. At the end of the day, this is what happens. Government exists in perpetuity. Yes, governments exist in perpetuity. That's why you hear when some people say that, that government project that is doing that housing is not for William Ruto, it is for Uhuru Kenyatta. No, governments do not exist that way. If there's something that was started, government must continue it. If there's a debt that is to be paid, government must be paid. It doesn't matter who is there. Now, so that we do not also lose around that question that you asked me earlier, now there are two kind of politics that do happen, especially during campaign. There's the politics of the stage and there's the politics of the state. The politics of the stage, you must appear somebody who is appealing. Okay, you must say things that are contemporary people want to hear about. The bottom up, the 6,000 thing. You must sound appealing. When somebody hears it, this Jagero sounds like somebody who can be president of this country. Now behind it, there's something now we call the politics of the stage. The politics of the stage is now when you meet people off camera, when you meet people off the stage. And in Kenya, when you hear people say ground in Akufil, it's not really about the things you're saying in the stage. It's about money. Yes, are the people getting your money? That's what people care about. It's no longer about your all these glamorous kind of ideas and all these kind of things. Then also part of the politics of the state is of the due existing factors. You can't go and tell people about our debt levels on how we'll be struggling. You'll not be voted in. So what people say, particularly on the stage, may not be, and Kenyans sometimes know these things are lies, but we are just okay with it.
Well, I understand you to the extent that the government operates in perpetuity. So that means that if Uhuru Kenyatta took 30 billion, President Ruto's government has no otherwise but to pay the loan,
Yes.
plus the interest accrued.
Yes.
But let's say that is true. But now we don't have the dam, and we have the 7 billion that was given to us. Why is Ruto not going after this 7 billion? Who has this 7 billion, and why can't Ruto go after this person that has our 7 billion?
But when you want to fight corruption, you don't just it's not based around the president himself. The institutions which are mandated to do this kind of work. If you want to have a long-term way of radicalizing or fighting against corruption, you do around the already existing systems, and I think they are doing their work. If you see the number of cases that EACC has been prosecuted, look at like the governor of Migori or Obado, who is facing. So the things that I think these institutions are doing the work. It's not really the work of the president to do it.
The EACC reports to who?
I think ultimately they do report to the president.
Yeah.
But the way the process into way this money is recovered is not by order of the president, but because they will need to go through the judicial process because
Do you think Uhuru Kenyatta was an excellent president?
No, I don't think so.
He was corrupt, correct?
Yes, he was very corrupt.
But he's now out in the open, gallivanting and enjoying our aheri ya inchi. Like, he's just out there laughing and enjoying himself, and we have given him security and we have given him everything that he needs. I hear he earns about $1 million or so in a month.
I think what happens, and this has been generally say, Kenyans normally do appreciate the work of a president once he has left office. No matter how much Moi was so bad, the people say, okay, Moi was bad, but we miss the maziwa ya Nyayo. There are things which Moi used to do. There was some sense of order, etc., etc. People didn't like Kibaki as much as people say he was the best president. If they really did love him, why is it that he was in normally where there was an election, say even during the referendum in 2005, he was not able to pass it. In 2007, the fact is that Kibaki didn't win the election. So as much as people say, and even if you look at Uhuru Kenyatta, people used to fight him until he had to leave social media. But today he's being hailed as one of the best presidents. So sometimes I think also maybe William Ruto, we can only gauge him once he has finished his 10 years. So
let's get back to Ruto then.
Yes.
And ask a simple question about Ruto. Is that, what is his plan now? Because he has had a terrific time. He under his 80 people were killed by corona.
No, corona was during Uru's tenure.
Yes. But I'm coming.
Okay.
But it was also in government. when it fits, when it fits you, or when it works for you, you say
no. But you said it's terrific for Ruto. So
no. Okay. Anyway, corona killed 80 people. Al-Shabaab and the terrorists have killed, I think, about 200 people.
Yes.
But Ruto's government, since he started, record shows that he has about 600 people have died. But so that's a big stain on his presidency. And then we go to the demonstrations and the loss of property that we've suffered in the country for the last 2 years, so to speak. And then the abductions and to be fair to Ruto, I think that the price of maize has come back to normal.
Yeah.
I don't know about the price of milk, and I don't know the price of other things.
Yes.
But now, what is his plan? What does he want to do to make sure that? Because I hear that in some government quarters, they are saying that the people that are making the biggest noise, people like Gachagua, are the ones that do not want to agree or to appreciate the work that the president has done up to where we are right now. But we have those factors. We have the death of 600 youths. We have the destruction of property. We have so much noise going on. And we have basically a former deputy president in Ruto's government going around the country. You know, the other day we saw him in the United States in a being escorted by the police and making so much noise. You know, where do you think Ruto is going to do right now? Yeah, what is his plan?
Now, there are three things.
Okay.
I've told people this uprising that you're seeing in this country, this Gen Z, this revolt that you're seeing against the president is not sustainable and it's not going to work. The reason why it's not going to work is because you cannot fight a socialist designed kind of government via an uprising. So you'll normally see it even if you go out here, 5 people saying that share is not working, share is not working. But you know, ask 2 or 2 people, they'll tell you shares pay for us some hospital bill. So the problem, first of all, is that it's not that Ruto is not working. The problem is that there's no public trust, okay? So like, for example, we had been doing even some statistics and looking at some numbers. There was a time that, you know, government was doing okay. Things were, you know, we were on the right mode. People are back to work, you know, and people are listening, you know, whatever government was doing. Then a police officer kills somebody in town. You know, now that cuts out all. Then it's like, for example, normally how it's said is that you can do 9 good things to somebody, but that one wrong thing that you'll do is what will stick to their mind. So such things that are done, say for example, if you know, if people are abducted, you know, bluntly out here, then there's no public trust, because at the end of the day, it is these same people who are abducted who need to use this SHA. They're the ones who need to use these roads. These abducted people are the ones who need to go to your schools. It is these same Gen Zs that you're picking are the ones who, you know, will need to feed from all these food, you know, food prices that you're lowering. So the problem with William Ruto is not particularly around work. It is because there's no public trust. And I think that's what they're doing, particularly even with the empowerment program, just to get back to the people, just to, you know, buy that trust. So sometimes some of these things that are being done is what now, you know, makes that public trust to go down. But to be to be fair enough, even during Uhuru's tenure, these things used to happen. And it's only that at that time, the more consciousness around use of social media and politics was not at its peak. During Uhuru's time, Baby Pendo was killed. Where was Msando killed? Where were all these Luos who used to be dumped at River Yala? You know, some of these things are really unspoken, but it is the truth. You know, some of these things happened during Uhuru's tenure. During Kibaki's tenure, how many people were killed during a post-election violence? So many people. It's only that with William Ruto is that he is unlucky that now these things can be caught on camera. You cannot come and take now Jagero and just get lost with him. Somebody will take a video. Somebody will take a video. I
love the fact that you cannot just take Jagero and get lost with him.
No, you cannot just, you cannot. You could do that in the previous governments, but right now you cannot do it. There will be a hashtag trending. Jagero will be trending for 1 week. Yeah, you cannot do it. Yes.
And do you think that it was a good thing for William Ruto to excommunicate his deputy?
Now, about Rigathi Gachagua, I think he was going to bring William Ruto a lot of problem in 2027. With or without Rigathi Gachagua, the mountain was already gone.
Was it? But there was so much love. You remember when he was singing in the church and doing all those you know, gymnastics. I mean, he was so loved in the Mount Kenya. I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
No. By the time by 2024, the mountain was already gone. with or without Gachagua, the mountain was already gone.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
yes. So as to whether he was really helping him in terms of getting the mountain is near here nor there.
The noise that he started making after quitting the government.
Yes. So then another thing, I think I've often not decided to speak about, but there was an attempt by Rigathi Gachagua and his cohort to try and remove William Ruto. I think that was now the red line for him.
To remove him?
Yes, they was trying. There are people
By legal means or by an uprising, by via uprising. What was the?
But now let's speak on a layman's length.
Okay.
What was Rigathi Gachagua doing at State House Mombasa that day, making a press conference when the president at the same time was making a press conference at Nairobi? You know, it's like, for example, Jagero, you and your wife are having a child who is sick, who is at hospital, and your wife is at the hospital. You are dancing somewhere else. You see, then what now justifies this is that Nurdin Haji and the intelligence team was able to intercept their plans.
Okay.
Yes, and that's why he has never been so happy with Nurdin Haji. From just a layman perspective, what was Rigathi Gachagua doing at State House Mombasa? Did he have a clue that there will be an overthrowment of the regime and him will be taking over?
How are they planning to overthrow the regime? Because I don't see how. Were they in cahoot with the military? Were they bringing people in the streets to breach parliament?
You know, these people in the streets do not happen by coincidence, eh? The normal Gen Z who go with these phones, there's a limitation of the kind of things they can do. Yes.
But they are, so this one, are you saying that these ones cannot scale the perimeter wall of parliament?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm a Gen Z. I know the kind of what a Gen Z can do. Do you think these buddies will go and climb parliament? And no, they do not even have that kind of courage. But I also think that the problem with the Rigathi Gachagua is that he would be making so many enemies and less friends. And that's why I think, sometimes when people are asking why, William Ruto had a lot of problems with Uhuru Kenyatta, but it was so hard for him to impeach him because he had over 100 MPs in parliament who are his friends and supporting him. So it will be logically hard. But Rigathi Gachagua was so arrogant. He was like a bully. I think even I had the other day, my friend Sylvana was talking about it, Osoro, the majority whip. If you go, he was inaccessible. He used to bulldoze everybody. And the mistake that he did, that I think now caught on him, is that he let Ruto look for Raila before he looked for Raila. Because ultimately, Raila was going to join government. Ultimately, Raila was going to join government.
But if what would Gachagua give Raila Odinga?
No, just to be friends with him. Just to be friends. There's some...
Raila does not like him. I mean, he does not like him. And he was alikuwa na mtusi sana.
And that's now that was the problem. I think the problem also with Rigathi Gachagua is that he didn't realize that he was now the deputy president. I think he felt like he was still on a campaign mode. Even remember during the swearing in process, he was still insulting.
Maybe he was learning from the best. I hear from the grapevine that in the Uhuru Kenyatta's first regime, it was actually Ruto that was ruling that was the most powerful of the two. So I think that he sort of was given that script and was told that in the first regime, in the first 5 years, you can actually be more powerful than the president, and there is nothing he can do about it because he's looking forward to having your support in the next election.
But you need to understand you need to understand the personality, the kind of personality you are dealing with.
Yeah.
You cannot compare Uhuru Ruto and Ruto Gachagua. Ruto is more aggressive than Uhuru Kenyatta. Ruto is more a much detailed person. I think that's why even during the nomination period of Jubilee, Uhuru left that job to Ruto. Uhuru, let's be honest, is somebody who has been given things many times. He was born in State House. Before he finished school, Moi was already... you just imagine you are just done and somebody is offering you to be the president of the country. But by the time Uhuru was back, the moment he was joining the politics of the country, Moi was already, telling him, we want to give you the presidency. He worked during Kibaki's time. So he's somebody who has been used to. But Ruto is somebody who comes from the deep shackles of, struggling.
Yeah.
So you cannot compare the two. Uhuru is not a very aggressive character. He's not somebody who is very keen to details. Let us just say the truth. So that's why I think Ruto, by default took that space. But now, Ruto is not Uhuru Kenyatta. And I think Rigathi Gachagua did not read that. They are both aggressive. They both want to bulldoze. And you can never outshine your master. You should never outshine your master.
Unless your master is used to easy things, being given things.
Yes.
So that was the mathematics that did not ultimately. I hope that you are enjoying that episode, people of the internet. Everybody says there is no job. And that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their own town, in their own city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call fathers, but there are no jobs, right? Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world, and there is no one to do them. I have worked for a long time online, I think more than 10 years. I work for Americans, I work for Europeans, I work for the Chinese, the Australian, Canadians, the Ugandans, name all of them. And last year, I had a eureka moment. I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I have been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a book called Gold Mine, 18 Side Hustles for Africans. And it sold a lot of copies. In fact, I was going for, sometimes I was receiving 500 orders in a day. In 2025, something happened. AI came. I think in 2025, AI came. AI came in 2024, but in 2025, it is here with us. And people say AI is taking away their jobs. And for me, I'll say false. There are actually AI jobs. Na mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. We now have in my book 25 online and offline side hustles that you can do anywhere in the world, whether you are in the village, whether you are in your small town, whether you're in a marketplace, whether you are in your house, you can do them. In this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance, drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I have made and lessons I have learned over 15 years in this online job market. You can become an executive assistant to busy folks in Europe, America, and Canada. You can also get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. There are many of them, and they're in my book. You can also build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce without a shilling. You can also become an affiliate marketer or an online English tutor. And you can also do tens of AI jobs, and they're all in these books. If you have a job, that is fine, but I know around you there are so many people that are always looking for jobs and at home watching Netflix. Buy this book for your brother, for your sister, for your mother, cousin, husband, who is back at home all day, all night watching Netflix. Okay? Buy it for your friend, that friend who is always asking you for cash. You can buy this book for them. All the information is in the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or you can go to my website, which is oduorjagero.co.ke. The book is only 1,000 Kenya shillings. Or if you're anywhere around the world, the book is $10. So thank you very much. Back to programming.
But I think also the problem with the Rigathi Gachagua, he doesn't put his focus on where the fight matters, okay? And this is where William Ruto normally beats him. During the impeachment process, instead of him using, we know how parliamentarians work. Instead of him using some of his few billions he got from his brother to buy some of these members of parliament, he's using a lot of money to on very top lawyers, Ongoya, all these lawyers who are making big English. But at the end of the day, impeachment is less of a legal process and it's more of a political process. William Ruto focused on getting the MPs and they impeached him. He used a lot of money getting all these best lawyers who are fighting Akina Mutuse, embarrassing them.
What could have happened if they both decided to use money in parliament? I mean, whose money would have won?
Of course, William Ruto. Government has more resources.
Yeah.
But you can always get some numbers to, you can always get.
You can decide
numbers.
to go for 50 only.
Yeah.
How many MPs were required to oust him?
I think it needed two-thirds majority.
Yeah,
you need a two-thirds
and
majority.
they are 200 and something.
Yeah, you need about 233 to remove him, if I'm not wrong. It's a two-thirds majority, that's what I know. Yeah. So, and even the ODM people are saying they didn't want to be part of this. But now Rigathi Gachagua made a mistake. He started talking about Raila Odinga again. And now a combined force of Raila and Ruto, of course he was going.
He was going
home.
How about the Senate? It played the same way.
It played the same
formula.
way. Yes. But the problem with Rigathi Gachagua, the moment he came into power, he didn't focus on making friends. You see, what Kindiki did, the moment he got in on his first 2 weeks, I realized he used to call MPs from all the places just to have a discussion with them. And of course, when they have a discussion, they also give him something to go back with Mashinani. So he had, even somebody like Kindiki, it's not so easy to remove him because he has so many MPs who are his friends. Yes.
I see. So now, what do you think is what does Gachagua want? He obviously cannot vie in 2027.
I think Gachagua is focusing on what he will come to the table with, and that is Mount Kenya for him.
Yeah.
And I think let's give credence to where it is due, he will have the highest number of MPs in 2027 from Mount Kenya. Over 80 MPs. And I think even most of these Mount Kenya MPs who are with the president right now, I've whispered to them, these people are going to leave you. From 2026, you'll see. Most of these MPs who you see are fighting Gachagua from Mount Kenya, they will ultimately need to go back to DCP. Because there's this thing. No matter how much work how hard you're working, there's this thing called being with the people. You're not with the people. Yes, for example, there are people who used to work so hard, like this Raredia MP called Engineer Gumbo, who are working so hard.
Gumbo or Tuju?
No, Tuju, even Gumbo.
Yes.
They used to work so hard, but they were against Raila. So people say, you are working very hard, but you're not with us. So the people are saying, if you're not with us, who will use the same thing the same analogy I was giving you, who will use these roads, who will be eating on all these things. So I think ultimately, I think Gachagua will have a stake around Mount Kenya politics. That's the truth.
But then that to me ties. If Ruto were to be the president again, he totam yenye sasa mna sing kwa Nyanza. This two-term thing. If you have two-term, if Ruto goes ahead and clinches the 2027 elections, and he's faced with a man who has got 100 MPs, what happens?
I don't think it will be 100. It will be probably 80.
And what can Gachagua do with 80? What would he want at that point?
But, I mean, he can be looked for. In politics, there is no permanent friendship or enmity. It's all about interest. Who thought Ruto and Raila will ever be together? Who thought Uhuru and Raila will ever be somewhere? And, who says even Ruto and Gachagua are not talking? You should never dismiss any kind of scenario in politics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think there is a possibility
maybe he has called him and told him, my friend, pole sana my friend, we chukua hii pesa kwanza ya kukuambia pole. Sasa wewe panga hiyo position wa kwenda ndani yako. Never dismiss any kind of scenario. Perhaps they're speaking.
Do you think that him being thrown out into the cold has made him poorer, or nothing has changed in terms of anything that he might have?
I may not be able to, but I don't. But you can never fight against the state in terms of resources. That's why that's why he's also in the diaspora to try and get money. That's why he's fundamentally there. I mean, but also to
from because I see that he's just having Kikuyu conclaves there in the United States.
Yeah, that's why I think that's what
some people are saying, that Trump is on his side, giving him all the vehicles and stuff like that.
no. Even you can go if you have the finances to, to ask. Even there are people here in Kenya who use chase cars and are not part of government. You just need something you can apply for, and if you can pay for that service, why not?
So he could actually pay for the police protection in the United States.
Yes. And of course, perhaps he has friends who are also around government there and who could help him. It's not something so much far-fetched. Yes.
Okay, I see. So going forward, how does Ruto manage the 2027? We have Raila, we have Kalonzo Musyoka, we have Gachagua, we have Ruto, we have Maraga, we have Matiangi. What are your thoughts about Matiangi? He's been very cold and warm and cold and warm. What is going on there? Is he your friend?
No, he's not my friend. I think the biggest mistake that Matiangi did, the idea of Matiangi being president came during the Gen Z period. Yeah, I think
that is last year.
Yes, during the Gen Z, people were saying we want Matiangi. I think you also heard it when the Gen Zs were saying that he was a byproduct of the Gen Z thing. Yeah, the idea of Matiangi. That's why many Gen Zs are saying we want Matiangi. But the fundamental mistake that now Matiangi did is that he now retreated back to the traditional way how politics is done. He went to now consolidate his backyard, first of all, the Kisi. And Maraga will be used to manage him. Speaking
of Maraga, what do you think? What are his chances?
No.
He has 1 million in his pocket.
No.
I think that's very little money. I mean, why is he talking about 1 million? The guy.
I think the fundamentalists in this country. I don't just know how many fundamentalists, the number of fundamentalists, but I think there are people who will vote for him.
Yeah. How much he could get? How much? How many votes do you think he could garner? 500,000?
I think
million?
so. I think so. Do you think
he can get 1.5?
I know.
But if you're saying no to 1.5, because I'm thinking that he can actually surprise a lot of people and get 1.5 to 2 million votes.
No.
Well, how many Gen Zs are in the country now? You guys are almost 15 million. I'm not sure whether Ruto is going to give them Nini. Are we voting using the idea of...
But even these Gen Zs, all these nice ideas are normally discussed pre-election. During the election, people will retroop to their tribes.
Will they?
They will.
There are so many Gen Zs that are telling me they are not going.
No, those are fallacies. They will retroop. There are people, even if you look at how this Gen Z thing was handled, it was because of the Gen Zs who were supporting Raila, particularly around Nairobi, they decided to withdraw from this thing. And Raila has a systemic gooning system around Nairobi. When he tells people in Mathare, Baba Mesema, no going to Mandamano, you cannot go to Mandamano. So I think around 2027 election, I've always told people, and I've even whispered to some of my friends in government, it will not be really about William Samoei Ruto. At least we already know he's going to stand. And I've even had the kind of scenarios Brian gave here last time. They're a bit too theoretical in my view.
What can you remind us of those?
The three scenarios.
Okay.
Where there will be William Samoei Ruto, Raila Odinga, then a united front
of Rigathi Gachagua, Maraga, and Matiangi.
Yes, then a runoff. No, there'll be no runoff. There'll be no runoff. Put off that.
There will be no runoff.
There'll be no runoff.
Explain why there will be no runoff.
There'll be no runoff. William Ruto is a steeplechase kind of politician.
Okay, steeplechase.
And he anticipates all kind of scenarios. And even if you and I've also told people, a runoff kind of election will be even the easiest way for William Ruto to win. Because if you look at that and historically, winning against an incumbent president in a runoff is hard. Because at that time, you'll be worn off. You won't have the resources. He still has, the state resources. You'll be so tired. You won't have because politics is all around money, moving around the country. It will be so hard. You'll be so exhausted from the judicial process.
I wonder why people have to go back.
Look at even 2017. If it's so true that it is Raila who won the election, the process was somehow, cooked some figures.
In 2022?
2017.
2017.
They went that Raila refused to go back to the October re-election. Why did they not go back? Although they had all these supporters. It is because of resources. You will not make.
They were out.
They are out. You cannot compete an incumbent president in a runoff. They will outbeat you. They will run all over this country with all the resources, and you imagine all the money you have spent on that first election going to the second one. And also, let me tell you something: young people do not like voting. So do not.
They are saying that it's gonna be different. You are gonna see dust.
They'll vote for a runoff election. They'll go to a runoff to vote again twice. These young people, I know them. I've asked most of these young people, "Will you go and vote?" They tell me why.
No, but they want a regime change. How can you?
Regime change.
How can you get through to out without going to vote?
Let me tell you something, Jagero. This is the fundamental problem, and people normally don't like discussing this. In this country, there are two sections of politics. Before now we go back to the 2027 scenario that I wanted to explain. There is there's the central center of power, okay, which one historically came from Jomo Kenyatta. Then there is this other side of power that was led from Jaramogi Odinga. How do I call it? The ideologist kind of people who believe in politics, and that space is being held by Raila Odinga. These two groups can never be on the same side of politics. The people from Mount Kenya, the central people of Kenya, can never be on the same space with Raila Odinga. Ask yourself, what did Uhuru Kenyatta do to Mount Kenya people that they had to leave him? What did he do extremely to them that he had to leave him?
They brought him Raila.
He brought Raila. They had to leave. What did William Ruto do so extraordinary to the Mount Kenya people that if all these things, all of us, people, or if it's abduction, everybody is being abducted all over, all kind of people. What is it that William Ruto did to the Mount Kenya people?
He brought Raila and Lewis.
In fact, there was whispers that Raila Odinga was going to join this government. They left. And I've even told people, if Raila Odinga leaves this government today, Mount Kenya people will be back.
Yeah?
They'll be back. There will be a vacuum, and Mount Kenya people are opportunists. They'll join. Politically opportunists. They'll come back to government. I'm telling you.
But Brian also said that anyway, go back to the scenario because we are almost on a
that's the fundamental problem. So Mount Kenya people and Raila can never be on the same side politically. Even if you look at the just recent Gen Z protest, why wasn't there protest in Nyanza, Western Coast, Nairobi, bases of Raila, Madari, Kibra, Kawangware and all? It was just in Thika, Juja. These people, fundamentally, they cannot be in the same space with Raila Odinga. That's the truth. And even if Raila Odinga left government, he would have helped William Ruto. William Ruto will just go to Mount Kenya. Unajua ule mzee ndio alileta kitendawili, akakukosanisha na ndugu yangu Rigathi Gachagua, akatuchanganya na uchawi mingi, lakini sasa nimerudi nyumbani. Now, in the 2027, let me tell you this thing. William Ruto is going to win 2027.
The first round or the second round?
There's nothing such as
first of all, before you say that William Ruto is going to win, which is a good point of starting, but tell me the people on the ballot in your head. Who are the people on the ballot?
I think the people in the ballot, there will be William Ruto. Raila Odinga is going to run. The other day Moses Kuria said Raila's dream has always to be in State House.
Yeah.
And I think even for him to be able to bargain post-2027, he has to run. Otherwise, William Ruto will look for Rigathi Gachagua. So he has also to run.
Okay, so we have William Ruto, we have Raila Odinga running.
I think Matiangi is also going to run.
Matiangi is also going to run?
Yeah.
Maraga?
I think Maraga is also
Maraga is running on which party?
I'm not sure about the party that
and Matiangi is running on which party?
Jubilee. Of course, because Uhuru is the one sponsoring him. He's a proxy of Uhuru Kenyatta.
Why is Uhuru Kenyatta interested in somebody being a president?
He doesn't want William Ruto.
He doesn't want William Ruto?
Yeah.
We all know that. But he was eating meat with William Ruto at his Gatundu home the other day.
No. The reason as to why at that time many of even the politicians who are anti-government also coming to the aid of William Ruto is this: if you lose the political state, the civilian kind of state, there's no way they will ever benefit from the state again. So it's rather we have that William Ruto will be fighting with them, but we still have a civilian state. Because at what had happened at that juncture, we were going to having a military coup, a military taking over the country. So most of the political class was saying, afadhali, wacha tu William Ruto continue to ruling, but we can always figure a way to remove him later. Yes.
But Jubilee is a Kikuyu party.
Yes.
And they are getting a Kisi to run on it.
Yes.
And Kikuyus are supposed to vote for Matiangi.
Yes.
Is that possible?
I think Uhuru Kenyatta has a huge chunk of people in Mount Kenya who listen to him. I don't think the only problem is that him and Gachagua may not really work together. I think Gachagua crossed some personal lines. When you go and steal somebody's sheep, there is some personal lines. And he has crossed so many personal. That's why I think even regarding
you can't come here and say that regarding Gachagua is the one who went and stole his sheep.
But we all know that. But even the MPs have admitted, the MPs who have admitted that they're in the same room. Even Moses Kuri admitted the other day he was in the same room where Rigathi Gachagua was planning that.
To what end was he planning it? Why did he want these guys to...
Because he forgot that the campaign is over. I think he was on some kind of revenge mode. He still wanted to prove that, I'm the deputy president. I want you guys to now believe I'm the one who beholds all state power. Yeah.
Okay, so as you have said, we have Maraga, we have Matiangi on Jubilee, we have Maraga on an unknown ticket.
Yes.
We have Raila Odinga on ODM.
Yes.
ODM or some sort of coalition?
Of course, ODM.
ODM. And then we have DCP. So we have Matiangi, we have Maraga, we have ODM, and then we have DCP. I think
this is a thing that I told you earlier. The main determinant factor of 2027 election won't be these changes you're hearing. It won't be William Samoei Ruto. It won't be the opposition. It will be one Raila Amolo Odinga. Because right now, as things stand, Raila Amolo Odinga is the politician who has the numbers. William Ruto, if we had to look at the numbers itself, he only has Rift Valley. And some supporters of his from, places like here in Nairobi, some voters, But Raila still controls Nyanza, Western, Coast, Nairobi. That's the truth. That's why that's why people are not happy with him joining government. That's why people are calling him betrayer. That's why he was the talk of town all the time, because they know his capacity.
Yes. So in the scenario. Yes, is that in the scenario?
So in the scenario, the opposition are able to unite. Then
which
Raila,
opposition?
The opposition, the current opposition as it still stands, Kalonzo Musyoka, Rigathi Gachagua, Matiangi, all these people, as they are saying it, they still stand together. Then Raila Odinga comes and says, Matiangi tosha. The way he did in 2002. Raila Odinga left Moi's side, the Kanu side, at the last minute. When he had promised Simeon Oichai that...
But there is something you are confusing me, Mr. Mark. You're confusing me. We have DCP, we have Maraga, and let's just talk about these three people. Maraga, Matiangi, and Gachagua. And then we have Raila standing alone. So you want to tell me that Raila is coming to join them?
Raila can come and support if they... the only challenge that Raila may not going to join them is that I don't think they'll offer Raila a better offer that William Ruto is offering him. I don't think in a Rigathi control kind of government, there will be a body kind of CS for treasury. I don't think that this side of opposition would offer Raila a good deal like the one that Ruto is offering him at the moment.
So then you keep contradicting yourself, because because what I hear is contradiction. Because so you are saying that Raila is not standing.
What I'm saying, if we look at it in terms of numbers, if Raila decides to support a one united opposition candidate, they will win the election, because logically.
But that means Raila is not standing, but you've said that he's standing.
No, I'm saying in the scenario.
Okay.
Yes, I'm saying
Oh,
in that scenario.
so that is one scenario.
That's one scenario.
Okay, so
That's
he
one
goes
scenario.
and says Kibaki Tosha.
Yeah,
like
another Kibaki Tosha.
Another Kibaki Tosha.
Yes, but I don't think that scenario will really happen.
Okay.
Because because one, these people will not offer him. There's something called the art of confliction. The art of confliction is that, Jagoro, even if you don't like me, what I do is that I offer you good things. I offer you good things
over and over again.
Over and over again, so that the moment even you want to fight me and say, but this Mark, even if I don't like him, no, I can't fight him. That's the art of confliction, where you do good things to somebody that even when they are faced with the opportunity to fight you, they do not.
Okay, so that is scenario one. Scenario two?
The scenario two is where you have now William Ruto running, you have Raila Odinga running, then you have, I think most likely this opposition, they might pick between Matiangi or Kalonzo, but most likely Kalonzo. Then you also have some,
with Maraga?
No, not Maraga. Maraga won't be with them.
Yes, Maraga will be standing alone.
Will be standing alone. Then you also have, some
so we have Martha Karua. We have
not Martha Karua.
Yeah, but she's not in the coalition.
No, but she's with the opposition people.
Yes. So that's why I'm saying. So we have Martha Karua, we have Rigathi Gachagua, we have Kalonzo Musyoka, and who else coming together? And Matiangi. The four of them coming together.
Eugene Wamalwa.
Let's say Eugene Wamalwa. Eugene is not bringing anything to the table. Neither is Martha Karua, but we're just putting her there.
Yeah, their names.
They are just names.
The names.
And then the four, they choose Kalonzo. The assumption is that they bring the Gema vote together. Gema is also including the Kamba vote.
If in that scenario, I think what will happen is that William Ruto will give Kalonzo a really nice offer that he won't refuse.
Like the vice president?
He will give him a very good offer that he won't refuse.
To leave the camp.
And
join his camp.
To
leave the camp and join his camp.
In 2022.
Mark, to leave the camp and join his camp.
Exactly.
Or to just stay at home.
Because he knows all these kind of scenarios, ultimately William Ruto is going to come back.
Okay.
Ultimately, William Ruto is going to come back.
So you work with the incumbent.
He is going to come back.
Okay.
All of them, I think most of them do know that William Ruto is going to come back.
Okay, so now let's talk about scenario two. We have Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua, the Gachagua, and Matiangi choosing Kalonzo to be the press, to be the flag bearer. Are we having Raila standing alone in this scenario?
In that scenario,
because in that scenario, then we have three big wigs standing.
That will lead to a runoff. But I don't think Raila Odinga would allow that.
A runoff. So it will be a runoff between the second and the first and the second.
Yes.
And who do you think comes up top of the three coalitions?
Of course, it will be Gema.
Gema will come top.
Yes, because of their numbers.
Which numbers?
Because I think even if we are doing the analyzation last time, I think it was Brian or somebody, the Gema will be around 29 point something.
Yeah.
Then Raila will be coming with the 28 point something. Then Ruto will come third with about 26. So it will be most likely Gema on top, then followed by Raila. That's why I think the Uru Ruto has been winning, because the Gema community plus some other small communities, of course, they will be on top. Yes, so, but that scenario is very unlikely.
So we have only two scenarios.
Yes,
there is no third.
That scenario that Brian was giving is too theoretical. I don't think it will happen that way.
The third one.
Yes, but also now I think there will also be other state-sponsored funny candidates like Salasia will be there and all that, to just get some numbers, Yes.
Pinch around.
Yes.
All right, my friend. Thank you very much. It was 1 hour and something of a beautiful conversation. I really enjoyed it. But so if you are a Gen Z as a friend of the government, then you have to tell the government that they need to treat the Gen Zs with respect. Are you going to do that?
Let me tell you something. These Gen Zs, they are huge in their numbers. But any politician who is beginning to win 2027 election around Gen Zs is joking. Gen Zs Gen Zs will not vote, as many people think. Their turnout won't be so high. What is the incentive? What are they going to vote for? To remove Ruto?
Yeah.
Most Gen Zs actually don't even have a problem with Ruto. And I think you have some Gen Zs around here. Their problem is not with Ruto. What the Gen Zs are saying is that we do not have jobs. We are going hungry. Stop abducting us. The Gen Zs are saying that reduce the fee. That is what Gen Zs are talking.
But
now,
is Ruto taking care of
now
those things?
listen.
Yes.
Now, what happens is that the politicians in the oppositions are the ones who are now amplifying that voice, and with some solitude political voice by saying that Ruto must go. They are now summarizing all these things by saying Ruto. But the Gen Zs, ask these young people, they tell you they don't care about politics. They don't care who is the president. I am a Gen Z.
They care what they want.
They care about what matters most to them. And what matters most to them, do you think most of these Gen Zs are that passionate about Rigathi Gachagua? Look at the way he was embarrassed the other day in the USA with one of the Gen Zs. They don't care about politics. They care about getting jobs. This is what the Gen Zs are saying. And no, but you cannot just. But this youth unemployment problem is not something that has started with William Ruto.
He said that he's going to eradicate it. That is the difference.
Yes, but it takes a period of time. You don't just start jobs that we are starting 1 million. No, there must be some systemic way of doing it. And I think even the other day somebody.
Hata kama sisi wenye tuko kwa content creation, hii government atupatie hata shilingi. Hakuna.
But it won't be sustainable. The work of government is like, for example, the digital tax that they wanted to put in last time in 2024, it was removed because it was now a new kind of space, commercial space that was coming up. The work of government is that we reduce the the taxation levels of, say, people who are coming. I think
the government should be building content houses for content creators. Like there is one on the other side of the road that Sonko built. It's been empty there for a very long time. You should go and ask the government to give it to us to turn it into a content creation place. It has just been there, a huge land, like 2 acres. It's closed and padlocked. And as we are here, paying 100,000, and we have something that Sakaja should be giving us. Do you have the numbers of Sakaja? So that can you ask him to release that place so that we can do content in it?
But Sakaja will also be just here till 2027.
He's going home.
He's not going to win. He's very unpopular.
He's very unpopular. Why is he unpopular, by the way?
He's very unpopular. He's very, very.
But he was one of the. He's not working.
Me, I love to be very objective. I love to be very unpopular. I love to be very objective around politics. I think Babu has a good chance around winning because one of the things.
But they are going to deny him the ODM ticket.
No, listen. One of the things that I've realized around Nairobi politics is that people don't vote particularly because of the ethnic, because of the party you are in. Because you look at Nairobi, we have had 3 governors from 3 different tribes.
Yeah.
In Nairobi, what determines the person will become a governor is something called a consensus vote. Okay, there's a general feeling that this is the person who is going to be governor. In 2013, when devolution was now coming in, people are feeling that there's a general feeling Nairobi needs a manager, and the manager will be Kidero. Now, during the next election, people are feeling that we need a youthful kind of we need an urbanized and exciting kind of governor.
Man with dimples.
Yes, Sonko was no. So that was now during Sonko's time.
Yes.
Now, thirdly, now it came to Sakaja. There was a feeling that Igade was a state sponsored, and people Nairobi at the time, many people are feeling that we do not want these dynasty kind of politicians, whatever. We want somebody whom most people could relate with, and Dimples was giving that. But I feel at the moment, Babu is giving the consensus feeling that I think many people are saying that Babu will be the next governor. But there are a number of things, because one, if he doesn't get the ODM, there are people, Raila's parties like cultism. There are people who have given him political agency. Whatever Baba says is right. I said Babu is wrong. He doesn't have to explain to them. So places like Kawangware, Madare, Langata, those ones, if Baba says Babu is not going to get votes, he will not get it.
Okay. Thank you very much, people of the internet. That was Political Headache. Talking about this headache with Marku Ouko. Marku Ouko, what do we call you? You're an activist. You're a political activist, political commentator.
I'm not an activist. I don't believe in revolutionary kind of politics.
So you are what? What does that make you? How does your bio read?
I am more of a political analyst, but I believe in moderate kind of politics, because one day I want to be the president of this country.
Amazing.
And revolutionaries in this country never become president.
Yeah, when you become president, please remember us. Thank you very much, people of the internet. That was Marku Ouko here at Political Headache. If you want to come here and talk with us politics, you are always welcome. Please consider subscribing to this podcast. Hit on that notification bell so that when we have something hot and headache coming out, you will be notified. Until another episode, bye for now.